From acute climate-related events like storms and floods to long-term shifts in weather and sea level patterns, the impacts only become clear through an understanding of who is at risk, what the risks are to people rather than just to places, and how these risks vary within and across populations. The climate director at the Danish Agriculture and Food Council, Niels Peter Norring, says it is impossible to understand and reduce vulnerability to these impacts without taking population dynamics into account. A report by Oforiwa Darko.
The planet threatens food security, fresh water supply, and human health. In the face of challenging agricultural growing conditions, population growth is likely to increase the number of people exposed to climate-related food shortages. To support vulnerable groups to become resilient in the face of these climate adversities, the Danish agriculture and food industry is producing climate-friendly food products to 15 million people worldwide, including citizens of Denmark. Through strong cooperation, the industry strives to make food production even more climate-friendly in the future, while at the same time increasing production in order to meet the growing demand for food. The sector also makes efforts to utilize raw materials and waste products for food and bioenergy. Today, they produce 3 times more food than the Danish population can consume, with some of the lowest greenhouse gas emissions in Europe. Food producers follow a similar path to honing their ability to produce more with less and transform raw materials into high-value products.
Agriculture and land use currently account for around 1/4 of the annual greenhouse gases.
According to the climate director at the Danish Agriculture and Food Council, rapid population growth worsens the impact of climate change by straining resources and exposing more people to climate-related risks, especially in low-resource regions.
We cannot transfer a lot more land into agricultural production. We have to, in fact, go the other way around. And we have to produce more. We have a growing population in the world. The middle class is in fact changing. It's getting more and more coming from the poor to the middle class. And they will require a lot of food. So we have to produce food in an intelligent way.
Mr. Niels Peter Norring further mentioned that including population dynamics in climate change-related education and advocacy, along with improvements in infrastructure and land use, would strengthen climate resilience and build adaptive capacity for people around the world. Under the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, the links between population growth and climate vulnerability are visible around the world. 9 out of the 10 most climate vulnerable countries are in sub-Saharan Africa, which is expected to double in population by 2050, accounting for half the world's population growth. An extreme example can be found in sub-Saharan Africa's Sahel region, where 100 to 200 million people will likely lack sustainable food supplies in the next 30 to 40 years. For GBC News, Oforiwa Darko, Copenhagen.